What's up, roadies, and welcome back to the road trip. It's me, Tommy Russell Jr., and as you can tell by the title of this video, baby, we are going to be talking about Coachella Day 1. I'm going to be doing this a little different, right? So I want to call this the RowdTales, right? And I want to be able to blend in like my vlog style with my storytelling, right? So I'm going to give y'all, you know, the stories, the bits that aren't shown on camera. And then when I do have moments that I want to intertwine, I'll put those vlog moments in there, or I'll do some voiceover, all that good stuff. So you get a nice blend of both, because I just feel like this year at Coachella, a lot was going on, a lot was happening. My health was, the environment was taking a toll on my health, baby. It was hot, I was camping, it was a lot. And as you can see, again, by the title, we are talking about why this was the worst Coachella day I've ever had. I mean, by far the absolute worst Coachella day I've ever had. I know we're I think like by the time this video comes out, which will be this Thursday, today is May 6th. So by the time this video comes out, Coachella has been maybe 2-3 weeks now? Yeah. Okay, baby, it's been a journey coming back from Coachella and healing. I am not a camper at all. Like, I don't camp. And so this experience really was pretty draining for me. So the recovery process was significantly longer than it's ever been before. Also, y'all see, the mic is in the back, okay? We are going to use these DJI mics, okay? The DJI mic 2 has saved me so much, and I didn't even use it too much at Coachella, okay? So we're gonna get our money's worth. Yes. So you get hand movements, you get all the stuff that I don't usually get to do, okay? If you haven't watched the vlog, of the preparation to get to Coachella, the drive to Coachella, day 0, all of that, I feel like it'll make more sense, especially day 0, as to how we got to day 1 being the worst Coachella day ever. Yeah, you'll absolutely see, because I was hurting the night before, baby. I don't know why I got that lit, but I was not processing the camping and the environment, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go down that road. If you haven't already jumped aboard, y'all, go ahead and jump aboard the road trip. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Like, comment, get all those numbers up, y'all, so we can continue to go up, because this whole experience, in some ways, I was benefited through my YouTube channel. And before I also get started, I want to give a big shout out to Q+. I want to give a shout out to my house mother Navy. Thank you, Juice. Like, thank you, the entire Q+ fam, for welcoming me in. Day 1, baby, I feel like I was just not myself. And I was apologizing the next day, because, baby, when I tell you the hangover I had was nasty, I felt like I was definitely putting that energy on people. So, you know, it was rough, baby. But I just have to thank my Q+ fam for being there with me this weekend, or that weekend, and just loving me and taking care of me when I needed you. And just having a great time, y'all. It was a phenomenal time. Day 0, even though it was, you know, it came with its challenges the next day, I have to say, just that energy that we had on day 0 is the exact same energy that we were having all weekend long, except I was sober. But like, we all were so loving, so kind, so energetic, so excited the entire weekend. Like, that was definitely a highlight for me. This Coachella experience was like, Q+, baby, yeah, apply. If you haven't applied already, or if you don't know about the application process, go to Coachella's page and you will see, maybe, I don't know when those applications come out. I don't know how that's working for 2025, but like, I'm sure the application should be out by the end of the year for sure. But yeah, I absolutely recommend, if you are a queer person of color, go ahead and apply to the program. It is so worth it, I promise you. I think I've covered everything that I need to cover. So yeah, let's just go through, and I'm gonna walk y'all through my entire day 1, Friday, Coachella 2024, and again, why it was the worst Coachella day ever. All right, Roddy, so we're gonna start off with the wake up. Oh my goodness. Y'all saw how I ended day 0, baby. I was hurting. So the fact that we had to take showers, like we had a designated time to take showers, which was like, I want to say 7:30, 7:45 or so. But we had to wake up at like 6:30, get everybody up, get everybody prepared to make that walk down to the showers. Y'all, I was hurting like no other. I don't know if I may have gotten like 2, 3 hours max of sleep. And that sleep wasn't good. I know you didn't think that sleep was good, baby. It was just me closing my eyes and passing out and then waking up. Y'all, it was treacherous. Oh, it was a treacherous wake up. So we wake up, I go inside the tent, like the main tent area, and this guy, because we were taking, as y'all saw in day 0, we were taking surveys from people. So we were just going around to people on the campsite, asking them to take these surveys to help us with our program, this Flux program, who actually donated a lot of the tents and a lot of the things that we needed. They supplied us with that. So shout out to Flux. But we were taking surveys. And so some guy comes over in the morning and he's like, hey, like, are y'all a part of this little survey group that y'all had? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, who's in charge? So I pointed them over to Chris. And I was like, well, she's in charge. Talk to her. And so he just kept directing all his comments to me. And I'm like, she's in charge. Talk to her. You just asked me who was in charge, so talk to her. But he kept talking to me and kept telling me how, like, I guess it was going around the campsite that, like, there were some people scamming them or, like, acting like they were taking surveys, but really they were trying to get their information and scam them and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what? Like, we literally had the director of Flux, Lisa, was there with us, right? Like, what are you talking about? Like, a scam? Who told you that? Like, it's an official page. Like, these people were also willing, and they made it seem like we were forcing them. So that was the whole thing. And I kept telling him, talk to Chris, talk to Chris, talk to Chris. But he kept wanting to talk to me. And finally, I had to snap. I had to snap, y'all, because, again, I had a terrible, terrible hangover. He got the picture. He walked away. Cool. So when we got over to the showers, we met up with the guy that was like head of security who, I guess, I don't know if he was head of security, but he was in charge of all of that going on over there, right? So he takes us to the back and he ends up separating us, the women from the men, right? In their own binary way. And so, you know, some people were like, I don't feel comfortable going over here to the men's section, right? But it was in that moment, they were forcing us to do what they needed us to do, which is interesting because this program was started pretty much on the basis of exactly what they're doing now. It's a lot, yeah. And maybe we'll sit down and talk about all of that as well, because I do want to make a video just introducing y'all to Q Plus and like what the experience is, what it's like, and all that. Well, you're still gonna get what it's like, but like what it is, so that you can also apply if it's something that you're interested in. But yeah, so it was just interesting that they had separated us in this binary way. But we just kind of went with it because it was early. It was the day 1 and we just didn't want to deal with it, right? So we go, like those of us who were male, we went over to our section that we had to go to, and the guy, very sweet, by the way. I do want to say that. He was extremely sweet. But he walks us over there, and we meet a gentleman that glorified himself as the head of security for that little area of the showers, right? So we go over there to that area, and he's like, where'd y'all come from? And we're like, oh, so-and-so dropped us off over here. And he's like, I don't know who that is. Okay, well, he seems to be in charge of a lot. So I don't know how you don't know who he is. But anyway, this is what he did. This is where he brought us. This is how he got us here. So I don't know what to tell you. And he was like, don't you come over here. When I tell you something, like, you don't go through this way. So tomorrow when y'all come, you don't go that way. You go the way that I'm telling you, and you come that way. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? And he was getting so buck. And I was just like, I don't know who you're talking to, but it's not going to be us. Y'all go take y'all shower. I'll be back. I'm going to go get whoever's in charge of you, because I'm not about to do this with you, right? I'm not going to do this with you, so I'm going to go get your boss, and then I'll be back. And he was like, yeah, go get him then. Go get my boss. Go get my boss. So I went to go get homie. I walked my tail right back up to where he was, found him, brought him back. Guess who's gone? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, baby. So we had to let that go, y'all. So I take my shower. I even realized I didn't even have my face wash product. So I had to wash with the bar soap I had. Oh my gosh, I was sick. I was sick, okay? But it was just, oh my goodness. The morning just did not start off well. And then when we got back to the campgrounds, they started cooking breakfast, y'all. And there was this nice, juicy sausage that they had on the grill. I mean, the sausages were fire, baby. And so I got me one. I pick it up, put it on my plate, and I eat. I'm sitting down like, cause I was still really hungover and, you know, in some ways feeling kind of drunk. So, you know, sometimes when you're eating like that, you just kind of close your eyes. So I pick up the sausage, I bite into it, baby, and it pops right on my lip. I have this nasty blister. I had this nasty blister on my lip. Like, it just started to swell and puff up. It was disgusting. So again, like I say, that was like how my morning had started. And at that point I was just like, y'all, I need to go take a nap, right? So I go back to my tent. I think at this point it's probably like, let's see, because I have everything written out. So we woke up at 6:30, all of that. So I say I went back to my tent at about 8:30 or so, maybe 9. And at that point it was probably like maybe like 70 something degrees. I don't know. But baby, all of a sudden I woke up in a puddle of sweat, drenched. And my tent felt like it was 100 degrees, baby. I mean, I just woke up hurting. And then Navy came in coincidentally, like right after I woke up and was like, hey, like, Tommy, you doing okay? I heard, you know, you had a little bit of trouble this morning. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, you want to talk? And I was just like, baby, I am hurting, not right now. Like, I just don't have it right now, right? And so she was like, no, it's okay. It's all good. You know, you're good, da, da, da. And I was like, okay. So she leaves. And then I just kind of pondered it. And I was like, no, let me get up and talk to her. And so I get up and she was like, okay, good. I'm glad you came. Because I was like, bitch, we're going to talk at some point. And I'm like, you're right. So I went with her, grabbed some ice for everybody. We come back. But I was just really hurting that entire morning, y'all. I ended up going to my car, laying down in there, trying to rest as much as possible. And then we had to be ready to do some content stuff by 11. So that was a process. And then it got to be about like 12:30, 12:45. And I wanted to go get my new poster. I have a new poster, just took it to go get framed yesterday. It is a beautiful piece. And now that I'm into MX posters, like his limited edition posters for Coachella, I am just noticing like the detail that he puts into them and how each one just evolves and becomes even greater in detail. So that one will be up soon, and I think I'm gonna put it right here, you know, and just have to expand out a little bit so y'all can see both of them. But yeah, I love this new poster. I'm really, really excited for y'all to see it. But yeah, so I wanted to go get my poster early, right? So y'all know me, y'all see my tips and tricks, right? I want to go to the grounds early. It's Friday. And we're so close to the gates that it's like I could go in, get my poster, come back out, and there probably would be zero line. Like I could do it in and out. But everybody was like, we have to wait on Navy, because after we got the ice, Navy ended up leaving, right? And so they were like, we have to wait on Navy, we have to wait on Navy. And I'm like, yo, I just want to go get my poster. I'll be right back. I swear I'll be right back. And they're like, no, we have to wait. So we end up not getting in until 1:30, which was pretty much on schedule with what we were supposed to do. But Navy was like, go ahead, like, go get your poster, baby. Like, get your poster, meet back up with us. I'm like, okay. So I go, and by the time I get in line, y'all, it wasn't treacherous, but it just was. With that hangover and waiting in that line, y'all, I thought I was in line for at least like 3 hours. I swear, no exaggeration, I thought I was in line for 3 hours, okay? It ended up only being an hour. When I was mapping everything out, it was like, oh, I was really only in line for an hour? Oh, okay. It felt like longer. It felt treacherous, y'all. It was terrible. I was leaned over on the gate. People were asking me like, hey, are you okay? Like, do you need something? Like, I was like, baby. Luckily, that fit that I had on, it was those like pants that were like high-waisted-ish, and then they dipped in the middle, and I didn't have a shirt on, and I wore my kufiya. And so like, at least that kind of was, it wasn't like I was like extremely hot, but I was still extremely hot. You know, it was hot out there, y'all, and it's dusty inside that merch tent. I was hurting. I don't know how better way to say than I was hurting. A dude even had to offer me some Aleve and was like, all right, here you go, or Advil, and was like, take this, my man. Like, if you need it, like, take it. But guess what? I had no water. I didn't have no water, so I was dehydrated. I was suffering, y'all. But I got my poster, and the one I got is, I keep pointing to it like it's there. The one I got is number 37, and I also got Shahila one, so she got 36. But I absolutely love it. I don't know what to say. I just really love it. And I didn't really get any more merch than that. I did get one Doja shirt. which I'm gonna wear for when I talk about day 3. So yeah, I didn't really get much merch. It was just the posters that I wanted. So I got my posters. I go back to the campsite, put my stuff up, and I was like, oh baby, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a mean nap because I'm hurting right now. And so I get in the car, baby. I tuck everything up. I go get me some water. I get in the car. I start the car. I turn on the AC, baby. I recline the seat back. And I promise you, I kid you not, the moment I stopped it and I was like, here we go. Hello? Hey baby, what you doing? It's Eric. I was like, oh, nothing, bitch. So I've actually just dropped my posters off. I'm about to head over. Where y'all at right now? Okay, good, because we're over here by the Stonehenge installations. Like, come over here, we'll meet you. We're gonna wait for you because we gotta finish up some content. Okay, great. Yeah, here I come. Y'all, I was hurting. I was so upset that I could not take the nap, but I was like, I gotta go. So I make my way over there. Oh, and I also realized that I had left my portable fan. So I had to go back to the merch line. I didn't have to wait. I just walked in front and got it. But I got my fan and then I walked over and met everybody. They were finishing up their content and everything. And so then we went ahead and headed over to the community center. So I met up with them at about 3:30. Went over to the community center. We kind of just talked about like next steps, what was going to happen. We had an artist engagement with Simafunk, who they ended up getting on stage with. They were dancing, they were doing their thing. They got to meet him. They got a Getty image afterward. Like they were having the time of their lives backstage with Simafunk. And if you don't know, he was on my honorable mention. So yeah, I was hurt that I didn't get to see him, but I was also hurting, okay? So we went over to the community center, like I said, waiting for the artist engagement. We had until 5. And so they were like, yeah, just try to be back maybe by 4:30, but definitely by 5 at the absolute latest. And I was like, okay, cool. So me and Eric went on over to the Indio Market to go get us something to eat because y'all absolutely know where I had to go. I had to go to Man-Eating Plant, y'all. Y'all know I could not start my weekend off without getting them garlic noodles from Man-Eating Plant. So go ahead and check out that little moment we had in the Indio Market. All right, Rody, so we got mic check, boom, boom. Okay, cool. So me and Eric are sitting here eating. What'd you get?
Spicy jerk chicken.
Okay, what restaurant?
Shit, what's the name of this? It just says jerk chicken.
Oh, it's a jerk chicken?
That's literally what it says. Jerk chicken.
How you like it?
It's good. It's hot as fuck.
Yeah. Right, because you wanted the curry.
Yes.
Not the
spicy jerk chicken. So now I'm double hot.
Here.
I'm actually overheated. But it's good.
It's good. It's good. That's good to hear.
It's good.
Y'all know I had to go to Man-Eating Plant. Y'all know this is my spot. Oh, here, let me give y'all a little fit check real quick. Because we haven't talked today.
Give him the fed.
We got the nice little wasted beans. I feel like the lighting's a little bad, but y'all can see it. We got the kufia right here. So, got my food from Man-Eating Plant earlier. I had the worst hangover ever. As y'all can see in the vlog, I was lit. Why are you laughing?
He was shaking ass in a deli.
For real, yeah, I was lit. So I'm sure y'all get a kick out of that. So yeah, y'all, and I know I seem like I'm in better spirits, but I feel like that was also me trying to put on the front and try to muster up whatever energy I could, y'all, because we were hurting. Poor Eric. And shout out to my baby Eric. If y'all don't know, he has his own YouTube channel, which I'm gonna link down in the description box below. Check him out. He does some amazing interviews with artists. He also on his Instagram does a lot of stuff with music and doing some voting. He creates like these amazing playlists for y'all, like all different genres, all different type of styles, all different type of eras, all that stuff. Like Eric Russell, like that, baby. That is my last name twin. That is just my twin overall. Like we also, I think our birthdays are like 7 days apart. I believe his birthday is January 10th and he's 30, I'm 31. So yeah, we are just like, that was my roll dog the entire weekend. I absolutely love me some Eric. Like Eric, yes, like, yeah, that's baby boy right there. That is fam. That is just, yeah, it has a special place in my heart. Love you, Eric. Thank you. because Eric was absolutely taking care of me on Friday. Like from the very beginning of the morning, might I mention, like Eric was like, baby, I got you. Anything you need, I'm gonna check in on you. I'm gonna be making sure you're good. And he did just that. I really, really appreciated Eric. And I had to get my bitch back for the rest of the weekend because, baby, Eric was not prepared for like that heat, which I wasn't either. But the heat mixed with the dust, mixed with his asthma, like he was also hurting. And so baby, our old asses was hurting together, but we were helping each other out. So I just have to continue to, I'm going to be giving shout outs to Eric a lot because we really, I don't know if we would have made it without each other because we really had to help each other out through some tough times when it came to the health, baby. We really did. But yeah, we enjoyed our food. We had that moment. And then he actually went back to the campsite because, again, health issues. He needed to rest. And I went on over to Anelia. So check out a moment of Anelia inside the Yuma tent. So yeah, that was an area, y'all. Had a good time in there for a little bit. And then I went ahead and walked on over to the community center, which was actually like 2 minutes away from the Yuma tent. So that was easy. And then we waited in the community center for like an hour. And every time when I look at these numbers and I actually look at the time that we waited, it wasn't that long. Like it was an hour that we waited for him, even though the engagement was supposed to start at 5. So he was an hour late, but still it felt like forever. And I was in there like dozing off. Everybody was laughing at me. You know, when you could feel yourself just, I was crazy. I was absolutely crazy. And yeah, I was hurting, y'all. And so waiting for that artist engagement, it just felt like forever. And I was hurting and it was just, I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And I felt bad because I felt like I was sucking the energy out of the room. You know, I was not the person that I feel like they wanted and they invited to Coachella. You know, I was not that bubbly personality. I wasn't this. I wasn't giving all of that because like, I just did not feel good and I didn't feel like myself. It was terrible. It was terrible. And the funny thing is too, I've drank before on a day zero or at Coachella. And I think it's the element of like camping and being out in the elements that like you should not be recovering in that type of environment and you're camping out there too. At least in the past, we've always stayed in Airbnbs or inside villas, inside home, you know, that kind of thing where it's like we have the space, the resources, the time to recover, the comfortability to recover, the electricity and AC to recover, a lifelong shower at your leisure, you know, all of those things to like help aid in allowing you to, you know, start your day off well once you get to the grounds, which we're not getting to the grounds till about 4-5, right? So we're there all day. I just felt bad because I was not who I presented myself to be, nor am I, right? So I was just feeling so bad, baby, but it was just not for me. So Simafunk ended up coming at 6 o'clock, and the engagement interview only lasted for about 15 minutes, and Jesse and Cruz spearheaded that. So that was a great moment. They ended up taking pictures together. I was so hurt, y'all. I just sat down. I didn't even get in the picture, baby. I don't think I did I? Yeah, I don't think I was in the picture. I might be. I remember sitting down. I remember being like, y'all, I'm opting out. I can't do it. So I was a Debbie Downer. So I end up going ahead and after that, meet up with John at about 6:20. So throughout that process too of waiting, I got to see Young Miko and Sabrina Carpenter. They were at the main stage. And so the community center is literally at the back, or like we just face the main stage, but the back of the, I don't know, not pit, but where you would stand to watch main stage, it's in the back, okay? And so we're all chilling there. I got to see, like I say, young Miko. I got to see Sabrina Carpenter. They were cool, I guess, but they were more so in the background because my eyes were closed and I could just listen. That's all I had. So at about 6:20, I ended up meeting up with John and Gracie Lynn. They were watching Sabrina Carpenter. They wanted to finish watching Sabrina Carpenter. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go over here to the Quasar stage, check out Mitagami and Adam 10, see what they got cooked up, and then I'll meet back up with y'all so then we can meet up for Tinashe, right? So in between that time, like 6:30, 6:45, I saw Adam 10, Mitagami at the Quasar. Oh, it was a moment because the sun was setting, and I love the Quasar. I love the Quasar. It's beautiful. We made it to the Quasar. It's up. It's turned. Adam 10, Mitagami. Yeah. I will say logistically, just how we're funneling the crowds between that and the Sahara is a lot clunky. Not even a little, it's a lot clunky. So I don't know how they might try to better fix that, but it was clunky. So after I saw Adam 10 and Mitagami at the Quasar, I went ahead and just walked over to the Sahara to see what the new Sahara looked like, to see what it looked like inside the guest artist viewing space, and just kind of get my bearings down. I got to see Skepta. That was a cute little moment, you know. I like that little song, yeah. Not even for the it ain't safe for the All right, baby, so I'm going to take y'all down to guest pass. Artist section, we're gonna see what it looks like. How do we get in there so that we can be prepared for when we actually need it? Thanks to Skepta that's performing at the moment. So let's go check it out. Coachella. That was easy. Real easy. And a much better setup too than what they got going on. Yeah, all you got. So we don't gotta go through the energy. Let's go. They say for the block, not even for the block. They say for the block, not even for the block. They say for the block, not even for the block. They say for the block, not even for the block. I never knew this. Not even for the block. They say for the block, not even for the block. They say for the block, not even for the cops. They say for the block, not even for the cops. What up, bye? That song was nice. So it was just a little moment to just observe, right? So I ended up leaving there, and then I just met up with John and Gracie Lynn after. We went over to Tinashe. I actually got to see Brittany Howard for a little moment, which was cool. Brittany Howard. I should have filmed earlier. Should have shredded when I was walking past. But like y'all know, Tinashe was on my, you know, not even on my honorable mentions. It was just more like King Carson, Tinashe, do with that as you will, right? But I went to see her. She was cool. It was a good little moment. I ended up actually separating with John because I wanted to go inside the artist viewing area, guest viewing area. And then I was like, okay, babes, I'm going to meet up with you in a little bit because I was still, keep in mind, I'm still hurting throughout all of this. I'm still hurting. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to my campsite. I'm going to go freshen up and then we're going to reconvene. We're going to meet up again. And he's like, okay, sounds good. So I went over to the bathrooms. I was going to use the restroom. And that was the first moment that I realized Weekend 2 was sold out. I don't know where all these people came from at Weekend 2, but I was like, there are a lot of people here. It was it was packed. It was insanely packed. And I was just like, I couldn't even use the restroom because I was waiting in the line. I was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm good off of it. You know, I'm straight. I'll just go back to the tent, call it a day. So after I get to the tent, I go freshen up. I go do my thing. I kind of just sit down for a moment. I sit in my car. When I tell you I was running that gas up, baby, I sit in my car. I get the AC blowing on me. I freshen up. You know, I get good and ready. And then I was like, okay, I can go back. At this point, I wanted to see Uzi, but then I realized like, oh damn, I'm pretty late. So I think I left the campgrounds at like 8. By the time I got over to Uzi was playing I Just Wanna Rock. I was running through the field. Check that out.
Let's fucking go!
So I had my little run through the field moment. I'm thinking like, okay, I can run into the artist area, not really paying attention to time. I'm like, I'll go into the artist viewing area and then just experience the rest of Uzi. By the time I walked into like scanned into the VIP, Uzi was done. That was it. I Just Wanna Rock was their closing song, and then that was it. I was like, oh, okay. So I just figured, let me go through the back, and then I'll take the back way to Everything Always. And Everything Always was at the outdoor theater. But at this point, I had not gone through like the back. I hadn't seen anything back there yet. So this was like my first time walking back there. So I'm gonna let y'all take a moment to see what that experience was like, just walking back there for the first time. They got the hand roll bar. See? I'm trying to get backstage, or the artist area. We just have to figure out how we're gonna get that to happen. And so yeah, I went that way, and you go back, you go out to the outdoor stage in the back, and I just entered in, and you automatically go inside of the artist guest viewing area for the outdoor stage. Y'all, Everything Always, oh. San Francisco, let's go. Everything Always did a phenomenal job. As hurt as I was, and I wish I would have been at peak performance. Y'all know me. I like to be at peak performance in these moments, right? But I just didn't have it. And I thought about being at peak performance, but something was like, Tommy, that's not a good idea. You're hurting right now. You don't do it. Don't do it. So I listened to my body, and I did not do it. I did not do it, y'all. But I have to say, I still enjoyed myself. I think John Summit and Dom Dalla did an amazing job. I love them together. It's like this dark, eerie, but like dancey, but kind of freak, but also kind of like dark. You know, like it was just like, oh, Everything Always, absolutely a vibe. Everything Always. I am going to make it a point to see them when I am in good spirits and healed, you know, so I could really be at peak performance when I'm watching them. I think Everything Always did a stellar job. If I was going to rank them, I'm trying to think where I should put them on the list. Do I have, let me see, do I have them? No, I don't have them. I would say boom, 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 boom. Ooh. Everything Always did what needed to be done. Everything Always killed it. Everything Always, like absolutely 10 out of 10 would recommend. They did an incredible job. I just wish that I was in a better spirit to receive them. But still, I had an amazing time. Y'all see the videos, right? Like it was up for Everything Always, absolutely. So at about 9:30, I end up leaving the outdoor theater and walk over to Peso Pluma. This was my first time actually going inside the artist guest viewing area at the main stage. So take a look at me entering in that space. We're finally going to the artist viewing stage area for the main stage. So yeah, it was beautiful. If I'm being honest, Peso Pluma did his thing. I was extremely proud of Peso Pluma. I'm always proud of artists that you kind of don't expect to maybe do that great or be the performer or like whatever. But you know, I don't know. I didn't necessarily think he was gonna be a bad performer. I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but I was excited to see him. And I think the best part about it was like seeing so many Latino people, Mexican specifically. Like homie was waving the Mexican flag, like turned up in there, and like they were just gleaming with pride. And like to see corridos be at the main stage, and like Peso Pluma would like, I think maybe like they were corridos artists that sometimes he would have like filtering throughout his performance, and like the dancers and like the graphic, everything. Like Peso Pluma did his thing. He was moving around. He was doing what he needed to do. Obviously, like sometimes vocally it was off or like, you know, things like that. But I think it was great. And I don't know, he brought out a lot of people. He brought out a lot of people. I didn't really know who they were, to be honest. But I was very excited for Anita. When Anita came out and they did Beaqueo, yeah, that was up. That was the moment. That was the time. I knew exactly who she was. And funny enough, they were like way more physical. They were very physical this time. And when I was doing my research, when I was doing like my Artists You Should Know, I noticed in Beaqueo when they performed it before, they weren't really like physical. They wouldn't touch. And I was like, I wonder if he has a girlfriend. And sure enough, he did. But I didn't think anything of it at Coachella. I was just like, okay, well, maybe they're really trying to sell it. Come to find out, I guess him and his girlfriend broke up. So he was like, yeah, we can get physical now, okay? Because at one point I thought they was gonna kiss. Yeah, it was definitely a vibe for sure. But yeah, I think Peso Pluma did an incredible job. I really, really do. One thing I will say though about Peso Pluma, I'm mad that I missed Rompe la Rompe. I missed it. I missed Rompe la Rompe, y'all. I missed it. Y'all know how much I love that song. I'm so upset that I missed Rompe la Rompe. I was hoping every time I would hear it, because sometimes the song sounded like it, from in my ignorance, right, of not knowing his music as well as a lot of people do. I'd be thinking, oh, here it is, it's about to come. It never came. Never came. I missed it. And I think he brought out everybody that was in the song as well. So I was kind of hurt by that, but you know, it was what it was. It was my fault for being late. But if I had to rank Peso Pluma, I'm gonna probably put him at about like number 8. Maybe, yeah, I'll give him number 8. So right now I have to put Everything Always at a number, right? I'm gonna put Everything Always at number 5. I'm gonna give Everything Always number 5. I'm gonna give Peso Pluma number 8. 8 best performance of 2024 for the weekend 2. I think Peso Pluma did his thing, and I think that he really utilized all the things that he could utilize for his performance. Shout out to Peso Pluma. You did your thing. You did incredible. Like, yeah, you did that. So after Peso Pluma, I went over to Justice. And baby, when I thought I was ready for Justice, I was not. When I got over there, I literally was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And so they started their performance. It looked great. It sounded great. But I was just like, I don't want to be here. I gotta go. I have to go. So just so happens, they played, I don't know what the first song was, but as I was walking away, they were playing One Night, All Night, right? And so I was thinking, oh, are we getting a Kevin Parker performance? Is Kevin about to come out? No, Kevin did not come out. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm bouncing. I can't say that they did bad. I don't think that was it. I just don't think that I was in the space to receive Justice the way that I wanted to. So yeah, I had to leave. But I did want to go see Annie Up, right? So I started making my way over to Annie Up, and I ended up seeing Suki Waterhouse, who I thought did a great job. It sounded like she was doing good for the moment that I was walking by. She performed at the Gobi. I was going to the Mojave to go see Annie Up. And when I got to Annie Up, nobody was there. Nobody, literally from GA to the guest artist pit area, nobody was there. So I was right at the gate. I was chilling, but I started getting cold, y'all, because I didn't have a shirt on all day. So I took my kufiya. I'm trying to use it as a blanket. Baby, it's not working. So I think I had like, maybe like 25 minutes until Annie Up was performing. So I ended up just going back to the campground, go grab my Doja bomber, go put on a shirt underneath it, baby. Get my shoes. I changed my shoes from like, I had black boots on. I changed those into my Hokas, baby. I was like, I am going for comfort. I'm done. The look is over. I quit, right? So I changed. I run back over to the Mojave, and baby, by that point, it's packed. It's packed. I'm like, how? Where'd y'all come from? Is what it is. I just danced my heart out in the artist pit. I'm doing my thing in there, you know, whatever. And then it just starts to hit me like, you're done. Body said, you're done. You're done, nigga. Pack it up. And I'm like, no. So I try to sit down, y'all. I'm trying to listen to Andy up. I couldn't. I was like, maybe I need to lay down. So I go outside the artist pit because that didn't seem like the space to like just lay in right there. So I was like, let me go outside. So I go outside the tent. I lay down out there. Still like, no, the music is not fitting for me. Like, it was great. Like, objectively, it was great. They were doing an amazing job. But like, my body and my mind, my spirit was just not receiving it. And I was just like, another moment where I wish I was at peak performance because, again, they were killing it. So I have to say, y'all, and I would choke on my own words. I have to call myself out and say I got proven wrong. I got proven wrong, y'all. So I had to think, where can I go in this moment? And just lay down and enjoy myself and enjoy what's going on without having to engage, without having to be overstimulated. Where can I go in this entire festival? Because I'm not packing it up. I refuse to call it quits early. Where am I going? At number 10, best performance of the weekend, Lana Del Rey. Did y'all hear that? Lana Del Rey was number 10 best performance of Coachella 2024 weekend 2. And I have to say, because that woman put me to sleep. Baby, she put me to sleep. She put me to sleep, baby. It was like I was being cradled. When I walked over there, y'all, I said, yeah, this is it. This is it. I laid out in the back. Y'all, I had my jacket on. I was bundled up. I had my kofia over me. I had my bag on the back of my head, baby. And I laid down and I just drifted away to Lana. I have to say, she did incredible for what she was worth. For what she does, for what she did, for to put me to sleep. Lana Del Rey, thank you, baby. You saved me. I had a great little nap, y'all. And I was woken up by a security guard because the security guard was like, hey, baby, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm good. Went back to sleep and I was just like, okay. And then I was woken up again by Camila Cabello. Okay? She came out, baby, doing, I love it, I love it, I love it. Guilty pleasure. I love that song. I love the song. I love the song. It's a vibe. It's a move. I wish I could have made some content to it, but baby, I just didn't get to. But that, I love that song. I love that moment. I don't care what y'all say. Because I wasn't expecting to go see Lana Del Rey anyway. So the fact that I got to see Camila Cabello and have a little moment with her, I had a fun time. I had a good little moment right there, y'all. And at that point, it was like, okay, I could pack it up. I could go. I had what I needed to have, y'all. So at that point, I went back to the tent, y'all. I threw my clothes off because y'all know I was like 24-hour showers, baby. I'm taking a shower at the end of the night. Boop, 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 boop. I can't do it. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's da-da-da. I didn't even have the energy, baby. Didn't have the energy. Went to bed raw and rank, baby. Just nasty. But I had to pass out, baby, because I had no energy left in the tank to give. And so, y'all, I laid on that air mattress and I knocked out by like, what time did it say? Let's say like maybe 12:30, maybe 12. It was before 1. I'm pretty sure it was before 1 for sure. But like 12:30 maybe or so. But baby, I was out like a light. And that was day 1. You know, I just say it was the worst day because all day long, even though I'm telling y'all this story and I'm like, this, and I'm doing this and I was hurting the entire day. I was hurting and it was hot. It was actually the lowest temperature that it was for the weekend. I think it was 94, 95 degrees that day. Yeah, it only got hotter. Day one was terrible. Day one has got me to a point now that I'm not really drinking. Like yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. I had one margarita. One margarita. One margarita. I'm done. I'm done after the margarita, baby. I don't want no more margaritas. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. Like, I'm reevaluating how I go out and drink. Like, I have a limit. I do not want to be hungover ever again in my life. I never want to feel the way that I felt Friday. I can't stress you enough how bad I felt, y'all. I felt terrible. I felt terrible. I felt terrible. And I don't want to feel that ever again. Day one, Coachella, Friday, 2024, worst Coachella day ever. I did not set myself up for success. I did terrible. I did terrible. Okay? Learn from my mistakes, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed this video as far as day one of Coachella 2024. Day two is coming out next week. And if you're watching this sometime way in the future, day two is right here. So you could just go ahead and skip to that. It's coming up. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope this was a fun little style with the RowdTales, y'all. And I will talk to y'all in a second because I'm literally just going to change clothes, if I'm being honest with you, and talk about day two. But I will see y'all in a second to talk more about that because day two was my redemption day. I got my redemption, y'all. I got my redemption at day two. Day two was a movie. Day two was up. Day two was the vibe. Day two was everything. Day two was honestly somewhat life-changing. Day two was the day. Day of redemption, baby. Day two, absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and jump into that video, y'all.